Anna, hi, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, fine.
Great. So we had the presentation last week. There was some feedback from it. And so this is really a coaching conversation to work out how we move on with it and what our options are for the future. How does that sound?
Fine, yeah.
Okay. So can you summarise for me the main feedback points from the presentation?
Yeah, I mean, the conversation we had last week, I think I obviously went way over time. Kind of, I know it's a 30-minute slot and I was still going at 45 minutes. I think you mentioned I had too many slides. I probably had too much detail on some of those slides as well. I think well, you mentioned that I didn't really connect with the audience, and I think that was, to be really honest, I found it quite terrifying, and actually spent quite a lot of time looking down at my notes rather than, looking at the audience. I think those were the sort of key points.
Okay. And I would agree with you. I think those were the key points. So looking to the future now, what is the best way that we can move forward with this?
I think it's important that I get used to doing these. At the same time, I'm not super confident, and I think I need to I need to work out that my map through the presentation, make it simpler, and work out how I join it up. And I also think I genuinely need some help in how I actually come across, because I've never done any presentation skills stuff before, and I've kind of muddled through, but I've never really had to, before I joined the company, I'd never really presented to such a big audience. I feel easier presenting in meetings, but that's kind of like 45 people in there, and that feels like a much bigger deal, really.
So what sort of help would be most useful, do you think?
I think there's a few things. I think it would be really good to go through with you, and I think there's a couple of other people who've done this presentation in the past about, how you, because I think I had 27 slides, and I think part of the feedback was you said that was too many. I mean, I know I like detail, and I do feel there's some really important information in there. So it would be good to work. I think it would be good to work through the deck, to edit it. And I think alongside is the kind of how I actually present it, and I feel like I need some help there as well. I don't know, maybe it's a course, or working one-to-one with somebody. I think experience is part of it, but at the moment I don't feel like I've kind of got the skills to know how to present it well.
So I think we're talking about maybe some kind of formal training, a course. I mean, there are some good courses and you can learn a lot in a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then going through the deck with me, I think, beforehand, and working that out before you did it. And I do acknowledge that I rather threw you in the deep end with this one.
Yeah.
Without much warning.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you gave me 3 days to prepare it. I can't. I'm the kind of person that needs a week. I was up the whole night before,
right.
Because I want to be on top of the information, and I just wasn't.
Okay. Yes. So if before the next time, I make sure that I give you more time.
Yeah.
Give you some hands-on help with preparing the decks, and let's see if we can find a course for you as well.
Yeah.
So there's a few options. There's another presentation coming up next month. There's then monthly presentations until the end of the year.
Yeah.
Where do you think you would be most comfortable progressing towards?
Well, I mean, I definitely want to do it again.
Yeah.
And maybe I should aim for next month as because actually I'm the kind of person, if I don't do it well, I want to go back and get better at it. So I'd like to work towards next month, but I kind of need to know that I definitely am doing it now, and then I can, look for a presentation skills course or something like that. I can get some time in your diary to go through the slide deck, and maybe actually it would be good to actually present it to our team, as a kind of dry run.
That's a great idea. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure if we can get you on a course before next month's presentation.
I feel like the training's important. I'd like to see if, I've been chatting to my friend Jeff, and he's been on a course. I could find out if there's something running before now and the next presentation to the board, and see if I can get that in. And if not, then I think I'd probably prefer not to do it.
Okay, that's a great idea. And there are lots of different courses available.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to get the right one for you.
Yeah.
So, by all means, speak to Jeff and
Yeah.
explore, with training and development, what's available internally as well. Okay, well, that sounds like a really good plan.
Yeah.
I think if we can meet together and review let's say sometime at the end of next week to see how
Yeah.
you've got on with finding a course, and then
Yeah.
we can take it from there.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Anna.
Thanks.